So today we're going to be talking about how to rebuild trust that has been broken due to emotional online cheating. From the secret DMs to the sending of personal pictures and videos and all of that.
All right, the question is, can you really rebuild a trust that has been broken?
Big one.
Is that possible?
Big one.
That's
So
what we're
let's
going to
dive
discuss.
into
Let's dive into it.
So now let's define what digital betrayal means. Digital betrayal is not always as obvious as catching someone with your partner in person.
Digital betrayal is all about emotional cheating. Online where you do all those DMs, you delete those messages you wouldn't want your partner to see, and things you do online on social media that you don't want your partner to see. All those financial transactions you make, you transfer money to someone that's not your partner without your partner's consent. These things you do that that you don't want your partner to see.
So King Bonner, you're saying if you transfer money to someone, it's digital betrayal. Someone without your partner knowing is digital betrayal.
If you have been chatting with someone with those DMs.
No, I said transfer money.
If it's actually business, that's different. What we're
If it's
talking
not
about,
business, it's not
if it's
business.
you cannot be sending money to someone that your partner doesn't approve if it's not business. If you do that, you're actually betraying our trust.
Thank you.
Because it's your collective resources.
Right?
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Thank you. And the hurt comes from the fact that this person is online, and you guys know, like we talked about in our last episode, where it's not a physical connection. This time around, it has to do with online, and you're building a connection with this person.
Yes.
It's not just a one-time fling you meet, you're building a connection with this person.
And once you have these feelings whereby you have someone that you really don't want your partner to know about, you're already betraying her trust, his or her trust, because that is not meant to be.
So let's talk healing now. I feel the first step is acknowledgement.
Yes, you have to acknowledge first that you are wrong, because when you don't do that, it's more like you don't even want to, solve the problem. But then it's not just about I'm sorry. You have to be really, you have to be really sorry and not to, put your partner in that situation.
Being sorry should actually reflect your action. The next thing you do next, it reflects if you're sorry or not. And I agree with you because it's a powerful one. The taking of blame, like accepting what you've done, is a very powerful one, because at this point in time, couples will be like, it was just online, it was nothing serious. Why are you overreacting? Why are you acting this way? You didn't see me with this person. We're just chatting. I don't mean any of that.
Yeah, acknowledging that you are wrong opens up the conversation, and you guys can now talk it over and be able to, get your boundaries set and know that, okay, this wasn't really for anything against your partner. So acknowledging that you're wrong at that point, brings that open conversation. You have to communicate properly and be able to resolve the issue.
Yeah. After acknowledgement, I feel the next thing that should come is for the partners or the couples to have an honest conversation, right?
Yes, basically that honest conversation is all about, setting a boundary, and understanding, yourself. Do you need to keep certain friendships online? Is it necessary for you to, be DMing or having conversations with someone who is not your partner online? So from that conversation, you'll be able to understand, the fact that you need to, be together. You need to solve your problems, without getting into stuff like this.
Yes, guys, remember to follow us on all our social media handles, and do not forget to subscribe so that you do not miss out on any of this episode. And then to add to what you have said, I totally agree with you that this honest conversation should be one that should be held. And during the process of having this conversation, the betrayed partner's voice should be heard.
Yes.
That person should be given a platform or an opportunity to air themselves, and if possible, talk about the boundaries that needs to be set. If you feel like checking in your partner's phone will give you peace, you can do that. If you feel like just changing some kind of things. That's the boundaries I'm talking about, to have to make you feel okay and comfortable. It should also be
Yeah,
acknowledged.
basically that's like, opening up to, this conversation, trying to know what your partner that felt betrayed will actually want, just like you spoke about the passport. But the goal is all about how you can keep your relationship and be happy.
So let's talk about repair strategy. Some couples actually find therapy very helpful.
Yes, because if you feel that you need to meet a therapist to help, or also if you have a third party you can actually discuss, your issues with, that's the best thing for you to do. It helps you to like hear from a third party, and a third party can also, advise you on what to do.
Yeah, and on how to rebuild your relationship or connection, you can also think about rebuilding intimacy.
Yes, rebuilding trust is more of it's not about erasing the past, but it's building a future that both of you will be happy with.
And rebuilding intimacy goes beyond now phones or tech or whatever. It's more of physical, because you keep your phone aside, screen time aside, you talk about going on dates more often, talk about physical touch, talk about think of rituals, think of things you can do that will connect you with your partner intimately. I feel that way you can rebuild
Yeah,
your
to rejuvenate the
yes,
connection that
yes,
you have before
before
the
the whole
betrayal.
before the betrayal scandal and all. Now this is where reality hits. If you're going to be honest, sometimes trust cannot really be rebuilt.
Yes, betrayals can be a deal breaker for some people.
Yes.
Yeah, but then, you don't betray someone and just feel like, oh, the person is going to accept at that time. But you need to, it's something that you can build over time. I think you need to give the person time, and over time, it can be reviewed. It's not something that you can, just put and reset and it's over. Give your partner time. I believe that with time and both of you working, together to be together. And I think that's it.
And also to add to what you said that betrayal is a deal breaker for some people. And I know of people that have said it, that betrayal, cheating in whatever form you want to tag it as, is a deal breaker for them. So most times when you have these conversations with these people, it's not necessarily for you guys to come back together. Sometimes it's for closure, just so everybody can move on at a good pace, and then we are good.
Um,
Because there are people that when you cheat on them this way, it's hard for them. It's not like it's a deliberate thing, it's just the way they are built. It's hard for them to trust you again. And they will not want to put themselves in a position where they are policing you, checking. They don't have peace of mind anymore. So it's better for them in this situation to just move on, and it's still okay.
for me, in my opinion, where there is no violence, actually, the thing is to give it time to rebuild and then be to, because the next person you are going to meet, nobody promises there won't be issues, but your ability to actually solve it together makes sense, because when you leave that particular relationship, you might get into another issue. It doesn't mean that anytime you have issues with your partner, you just leave. I think you should give it time, but then if it works for you, good. But if it doesn't, it's a
Exactly.
free
I was
word
going
for you
to
to.
say, if it works for you, fine.
If it
If it
doesn't, it's
doesn't,
a free word.
you shouldn't shrink yourself just so another person can gloat in their bad behavior. You shouldn't do that to yourself. Be
Absolutely.
you a guy or a female, you shouldn't do that. If your partner, you've spoken about this and they're not willing to change, they keep on, because people know how to gloat in their bad behavior. They do not want to change. I feel like maybe you should just take a bow. There are better people out there.
All right.
So, to our listeners, if you're navigating digital betrayal, I need you to know that healing takes time, and it's okay to take some steps backward. Get yourself back up together and see if you really want to do this.
And one thing you should also know that if you're in this situation, seek help. Don't just
Yeah.
do it alone. Seek people that can help,
Professional help.
helping you to get back together.
Yeah. So, thank you for joining us on today's episode. Do well to subscribe, follow us on all of our social media handles so that you do not miss out on any of our episodes.
Yes, stay connected both online, offline.
Right?
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.